Hello and welcome to SoBricks. I'm Adam and this is SoBricks. This is my channel for reviewing Lego sets and building them and other Lego related stuff. In this video, I'm going to be taking a look at the Lego Monkey Kids Cloud Airship set. This is set number 80046. It has 540 pieces and I paid $35 for this set. So I ended up buying this kind of around Black Friday. I think my order was placed. I ordered a bunch of stuff that was on sale, some stuff that wasn't on sale. On November 29th when I just went and checked. This retailed for $50, I want to say, or $45 or something like that. Let me double check, but like the creative vehicles, it was discounted. Yeah, so normally retails for $50. It looks like on Bricklink, it's what it goes for around there. This set is not officially retired yet, but it might be one that's retiring at the end of the year or something. The Lego website, as far as I know, has been sold out essentially since maybe around Black Friday for this. I could be wrong about that, but it's a theme that I'm not like super experienced with, but I thought it looked cool. I thought it looked like good value, and so I'm excited to take a look at it. So in this video, I'm going to open this up, I'm going to put this together, and then I'm going to share my thoughts on it. So while I build, I will speed the video up, and then I'll slow it back down to review this set. So until then, enjoy. Okay, so while we look at the build for this Lego Monkey Kids Cloud Airship set, I just wanted to say thanks for watching, and then remind you, if you like this video, click the thumbs up. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button. That helps me a lot. We're on the road to 2,000 subscribers. It'd be incredible to get there, so if you're not subscribed, maybe consider doing it. It means a lot to me, so thank you very much. If you wanted to support the channel, you can give money to the channel if you would like. Membership supers and thanks on YouTube. There's a Patreon. There's a link in the video description. There's a Buy Me a Coffee link, and there's some affiliate links. Maybe consider checking those things out. It helps a lot. It means a lot to me. And then I wanted to talk about the build. So actually, surprisingly, in the first bag of pieces here, we did have 3 of the minifigures, which is not something they do as much anymore. They usually try to like spread them out, especially for something like Star Wars and Marvel sets. They try to spread the figures out a little bit more throughout the build and throughout the bags. I thought that was to maybe counter some theft and stuff, but either way, this maybe it's a little different here because they're not like other IP. We start off with some side builds, little cannon, a little flyer, as well as some landscape area there, and then we start working on the cloud airship itself. We're building kind of the base level here, which ends up to me looking kind of like a snowmobile or like a flatbed truck in some ways. It does have those skis for the landing gear, and then we can start working on the actual kind of blimp sort of Zeppelin type thing. We have a very solid base of Technic bricks that are all pinned together. That's for the cockpit kind of area or the gondola area, as well as for the core of what eventually becomes the balloon. And you can see that starting to take shape. There actually is some internal details in there. So we have kind of the top and bottom of that done. And then we use these big yellow pieces, kind of hull-like pieces for the sides. I did have some error in there that was a little bit difficult to take the pieces out of there because they are kind of recessed in those big pieces. A little bit of internal detail here, and we can see how this will attach to the main core. We're using some Technic pieces. We have these nice little sub-assemblies for the nose and the kind of back area there. I did realize eventually that I did not put the rear one on 100% as much as it should have been, so I did correct that a bit later. There are stickers in this set. Not a ton. So they're relatively visible. These ones on the inside aren't, but the ones on the outside are pretty much in your face. But I thought that the color match was okay, and I thought they served their purpose well. We do have one more figure in here at the end, and then we have all these little kind of not side build, but these little accessories that go on here. So the exhaust and kind of wings at the back, these kind of wings on the side there with the cloud pieces that are used, as well as the kind of bucket and the boom arm that the bucket is coiled on the side. So that's everything here. We can attach the flyer to the back, and I spent some time kind of putting the figures in here as well. So that's really nice. And now on to my review for this set. Okay, so that is this Lego Monkey Kid's Cloud Airship set. This is fun. Really kind of a unique thing. I think, Zeppelins and blimps and things like that are maybe slightly underrepresented in Lego. I think there have been some big examples of them that like collectors maybe know about, and I've seen some at different conventions and stuff like that. But because Lego is like a solid plastic thing, they're often it's often difficult to make a convincing blimp or zeppelin or kind of airship like this. And I think this is a pretty good representation of one here. And so I'm excited to look at this, and we will get right into it. The first thing that we will look at is the minifigures, because you do get some. And I'll actually do this one first because this is Monkey Kid. I had them in the cockpit there. So Monkey Kid is the main character, the main hero character of this series, of this theme, and they are in a bunch of the sets. I've looked at this character before. I don't know if this is, I've probably seen different variations of this character, but this is really, really nice. So Monkey Kid's hairpiece has kind of the headband there. It is dual molded, and then the headband has that gold printing on it, kind of has sort of an anime hair looking thing with the tie in the back. Looking at the face, kind of a stern look, maybe ready for some action. Monkey Kid also has the alternate face where they have a very different expression and kind of have that face paint on there, which is really nice. And then looking at the torso, we have this super detailed kind of the red and yellow, black, silver, gold, all the kind of main colors that Monkey Kid stuff is used in. I like the different arm colors here. Torso is really, really detailed. It's kind of like a flight jacket there. It has maybe a different clip and different stuff. Has kind of a Monkey Kid logo, one of these symbols that they use, or one of the emblems. Nice detail up around the collar and the shoulders, maybe a extra pocket over here. Kind of looks like a vest, almost like a puffy vest. We do have printing on the midsection, which is really nice for that belt area. And we have printing on the legs. The legs are also dual molded here. So we have the red and the black, and then we have printing up at the top, in the middle, down onto the feet there. Kind of a zipper over here on this pocket, a little different thing over there with some clips, so that's really nice. No printing on the arms or anything, but the alternate arms is cool. And then looking at the back of the vest, we kind of get that similar look there with a little less detail, but still has like the buckle, still has the stuff up around the collar and the shoulders, and then has kind of the Monkey Kid cloud looking emblem in kind of metallic print there. So that's really cool. I like this. I mean, I think the dual molded legs with the printing is really nice. I love when Lego does that. It's a detailed character. It's another one of those things with Monkey Kid, with Ninjago, with Dreams, with even Hidden Side, with Chima, with Nexonites, these themes that were like Lego themes first and foremost, and internal intellectual property. I think, they do go above and beyond with the figures, so that's really nice to see Monkey Kid there. The next one we will look at, this one's interesting because I'm not super familiar with the lore of this series. I think it was a show, or is a show, as well as, the theme here and everything else. But this is Sandy Power Up. So I think they are a friend with Monkey Kid, but I'm not 100% sure. And this is a crazy detailed figure. This is awesome. So right off the bat, we have the really cool mohawk in that kind of orange color there, which is great. It's kind of that more rubbery plastic than the normal ABS plastic there. So that just fits over. That's great. I want to say maybe this mohawk is from like video initially, but they've used it in a bunch of other stuff now. Looking at the minifigure head, it's that really interesting color there. I think medium azure, but like kind of that light blue, pale blue. And then we have the beard, facial hair, and mustache kind of combo there in the same orange. I'll pop that off so we can see the rest of this. And let me get this back on here. And when we look at the face underneath, we get the same kind of orange hair on there, orange eyebrows. So that's really nice. Good contrast with the kind of blue of it. They do have this pauldron piece, kind of shoulder pad type thing there that kind of wings out a little bit. And actually, I think I have it upside down right now, so it would go more like this. Something like that there, so we can still move the arms and everything. The torso is just amazing, like super detailed here. It's kind of this armor sort of there's a lot of metallic printing, metallic gold, metallic silver in there. There's a little bit of like blues and yellows, and there's kind of like a dragon looking thing and some of the red in here, or at least maybe it's not red, but it's the gold kind of looks red, or I don't know. Insanely detailed printing throughout here, really like ornamental, really cool armor. I like that a lot. So great to see. Super detailed midsection there. There's some silver like printing on the white that is a little bit hard to see, and then printing on the legs up at the top, in the middle, down at the feet. Even the little section between the legs has printing on it there, which is great. Again, really detailed, nice fine lines. Some lines that are like on some colors up in the torso, midsection, and on the legs for those metallic prints that really pop in person and when the light catches them just right. But it's maybe a little bit difficult from here to see all the detail in this, but that's really cool. So I like that a lot. No printing on the arms. Back of the torso, again, very detailed here. I like the little like spots of color, and then again there's kind of metallic silver going through there, kind of has like a scale design, and just tons of gold and silver all throughout this that really pops. So again, really detailed printing there. And then yeah, I like the hair color, and I like the head color. I don't know much about this character, but they seem really cool here, so I like to see that. And then we have what I think is maybe the antagonist or something here. Right now we have the golden winged eagle, and this is really interesting because I built this after I was reviewing a Chima set, the Spinland's Cavern, which had Eris in it, which was the Chima kind of eagle tribe there. But here we have the golden winged eagle character from Monkie Kid. They have a accessory that's kind of a spear here, which has the kind of gold beak looking thing there, which is nice. This character is really interesting. Notably, there's a lot of differences between this because this comes out in 2023, which is way after Chima was out. So they went a different way here. Up at the hair, we have this nice kind of braid that goes around. It's an interesting Lego hair piece. We do use an open stud up there, but that's really cool. So super stylized, nice color. And then we have the gold wings, which are all one piece, and that goes over the minifigure neck. And then the beak kind of armor stuff there, the sort of face mask, also goes over around the minifigure neck, and then the head goes on. And that's pretty interesting to me. They did not go that route with Chima. They had like the full-on masks, but I think this works really well. And then when we take that off, we can see, kind of like Chima here, we get the minifigure head underneath there, sort of representing a similar face that like the mask piece kind of did. So I thought that was really similar, but the eyes are a lot closer together here. Really detailed than Chima figures are, because the eyes have to be like farther apart to see out to their headpieces there. And then nothing on the back of the head for this one, but really detailed head printing. I'll take off the wings. I think that wing piece is really nice. It's kind of these just gold wing pieces that I don't see this being used a ton. I more often see the wings where it's like the bracket piece that goes around the minifigure neck with the two studs on the back, and then you put clips on them, and then you put wings on them. So you can't really like flap these wings or position them at all. They're just fixed there. Looking at the torso, very detailed, has nice gold. Color scheme is nice, kind of the blue or purple, the white, the gold, and then some black throughout there. You kind of see some like musculature. They have, I think honestly, the characters in Monkie Kid are called demons, which is interesting. But so I don't know if this is affiliated with the demons. I think this kind of logo or emblem in here for this wave or this season is kind of what the demons emblem looks like. So that's kind of up in the middle. And then just tons of detail through here, midsection printing, and then printing down at the legs, top, middle, and on the feet. We get the talons there. Also printing in yeah, that's printed in that middle section there as well. No printing on the arms. Back of the torso is pretty basic, but we get kind of the waist belt-like thing, or the tie around the waist, and then kind of the back of the armor. A lot of this gets covered up with the wings then. So that is pretty cool. I like this piece for the beak. I think it sits really, really nicely when it's on the face. It just looks great. It's not like super bulky. It doesn't add a ton. And I think they did a good job with like representing this 3D thing on the face, maybe a little bit better than Chima does. So it was interesting to see in comparison what like a similar kind of bird-faced Lego character, what they had decided to do over the years. So just a different take on that. And I think this one is pretty good. You have the nice accessory there. And then the other one we get is this ink demon. And these I've seen in the other Monkey Kid sets I have built and reviewed on the channel, but they do have this kind of ink blade sword thing with the kind of curved barb piece and then the black hilt there. And looking at this character, they have the black hair, which is kind of like a braid, a single hair. It's not the same piece as this. It's a little bit different, but they've used this piece for other stuff. Looking at the face, they have just like the black minifigure head and this really great kind of mask printing on there with all of the gold and I think some purple throughout there that has it look like there's kind of ink, sort of supernatural ectoplasmic kind of stuff like flowing through there. Has a frown, kind of a furrowed brow there, but very detailed. No alternate face because we would see that on the back. No detail on the back of the head. And then the torso is very cool too. It's a black torso. We get kind of that gold armor all throughout there, which has kind of almost a chainmail looking thing. Does have the same kind of emblem in the middle on the chest, and then it has these colors like that blue or that purple that is sort of weaving its way through, maybe as if the ink is sort of coming through or coming out or whatever there. So I don't know all of the lore of the ink demons, but I have some idea because I've covered them at various times. But I think that's done really well here, where we can see that kind of seeping through. No printing on the midsection, no printing on the legs, no printing on the arms. Do have the hand color there. And then the back of the torso is that same kind of armor plating, almost chainmail looking stuff with the ink splats kind of coming out and covering different things there. So that is very cool as well. I think this is probably the same kind of ink demon I've seen in other Monkey Kid sets. You know, I haven't looked at a ton of Monkey Kid. Just recently I looked at like the Creative Vehicles set, which I really liked, but that I don't think came with any like villain characters or antagonist characters there, or any like the ink demons. And then I looked at a Monkey Kid mech as well as a jet plane, like May's jet plane thing that could be combined with the mech, and I think one of those came with an ink demon, or maybe two of those did. So those are the four characters there. The other one that you get is kind of a character, kind of not, but this is, I think Kitten Mo is the name of this character. I think it is the power-up Sandy's kind of kitten here, and the reason I think that is because it's the same color. This is kind of like the Friends kitten, small kitten mold here, but it's one special because it's that unique kind of bluish color, and then it has sort of orange hair on the top of its eyes to match Sandy there, which is super, super cute. So I'm all for getting like different different kittens in different colors, and with that unique printing on there of the hair, I think is really cool. So very tiny, very cute, and I love cats, so great to get a new one there. So a couple little side builds here that we build early on. The first one, and I've built something like this before for a different Monkey Kid set. I think this is for the Ink Demons. It's sort of a catapult, sort of cannon type thing. So we have these nice big gold metal wheels there on an axle plate. We build it up with some brackets. We use one of these pieces, so this could be pulled behind something, but it also is so that this is like its third point of contact, but we can like lean this up and down. This rolls really, really good. And then this is kind of neat. There's an interesting technique where we use one of those plates with the bar coming up off of it, and that actually goes between this, and then we put a hollow stud on the bottom of this slope, and so it like locks everything down. Have the gold stud shooter there, have those like ink blade, kind of almost like trebuchet or whatever the big like bow and arrow crossbow type things are. I think sometimes they're maybe erroneously referred to as trebuchets, but I don't know. But it's sort of a, it's a, it's a stud shooter here, a tile shooter, projectile launcher there. And inside we have a black stud for the ink kind of splats there. And there is one stored sort of on the back, which could be used for extra ammunition in this. And it's nice that you can aim this. It sits at a pretty good angle when this is all the way on the ground, but we could, move that around, and this can easily be spun around. And that's pretty good. Like I say, I think I've encountered something similar to this in other ones, but the color scheme matches well, and it was fine to put together. I do like these wheels there. The other part is this little bit of landscape here, which is really interesting. So we have an accessory. I think in the instructions, this was kind of built with Sandy here, so I don't know specifically what this is supposed to be. It's sort of an interesting minifigure accessory weaponry of some kind, but there's some really interesting pieces here. At the core of it is the gold hilt, lightsaber hilt, and then a gold candlestick. But then this kind of wishboning piece here and this kind of interesting blade up here are unique pieces, and there's some of the pieces that come in a pre-packaged kind of thing, sort of like web splat elements might come in, and there's a bunch of other ones that I don't think I have seen before. So we can see all of these. There's a couple like sword pieces here, or kind of a scimitar, more of a normal one. This one could be like a hilt that is covered up. We got these ones here, which are pretty interesting as well. There's two of those. And then this one, it's kind of got that saw looking teeth on the bottom, almost looks like a cloud thing. I don't know what this could be, but it has the like space back here with a bar, as well as the like mini bar, mini peg kind of hole in there, so that could be attached to something. And that's where this piece on the end came in, and this piece came in as well. So I'm not super familiar with those, but I think it works really, really well here, and I'm happy to get those. Certainly happy to get these as well, because I think they're unique, and I have to see where else they came in. So that could be an accessory for one of the characters, maybe Sandy, maybe Monkey Kid, maybe that's what the Ink Demon and the gold winged eagle character are sort of trying to get. And then we have this little bit of landscape here. They did make it so it can like attach to other stuff, so you get the Technic pins here and open over there, so you can maybe attach this. It's kind of got a little rock formation throughout there, maybe some water here, some lilies with those botanical pieces. There is a frog here, which is nice, kind of just a generic green one, which we've seen in lots of different stuff. And then there's this little arm here, which is essentially where this could be like held in, and we can kind of position that there, and that looks pretty cool, but pretty small side build. So those are two side builds, the kind of cannon and this kind of little bit of landscape. And then the rest of the set is this Monkey Kid airship here, which is very cool, and like I say, a unique sort of vehicle to get in Lego form. And I think this is pretty great. So I'm going to try and turn it on its side here a bit so we can get a good profile look at this. And then I'll start kind of at the base where this is built. So they have kind of this whole cockpit area here, which is very cool. We use some of these like skis for landing gear here, and the ones at the back are actually a little bit taller than the ones in the front, so it does sort of have that forward rake looking bit there, which is nice. And the build for this is cool. It kind of looks like a car or a truck kind of cab area, and then maybe like a flatbed area there. The color schemes are really nice, consistent. Monkie Kid stuff is always kind of this red and this yellow, as well as some of the black and gray and different things through there. Building this is interesting. So we have Technic bricks in here, and then a ton of brackets being used all the way around the front. So there's like studs on the side stuff, of course. On the side, we get kind of this mechanical looking layering of Nexonite stuff. This one has a sticker, some angled plates, some tiles throughout there, the vented slopes, this kind of tulip piece here all throughout there. It's basically the same on the other side. Kind of has that kind of mechanical look there. Around the front, we got some lights up on the front. We do have a windscreen here, and then it has kind of an open cockpit area, but we use these modified plates with the bar in here, and then we clip these bars onto the back to kind of round out the roof there. So those aren't actually like clipped to anything up here, but it does give the impression of kind of closing that off. I like the like sand blue that's used as accents in some of this. And then the seat is attached kind of interesting. We have the like pieces up here that hold like the back window there, these slopes coming down for the armrest area and that window piece, and then we have those vented slopes in there, which you can actually see the bottom of under here to see like where the seat is. It's recessed down in there. We do have a steering console, but it is using a boomerang piece and then has the printed kind of dial piece on top there for some control, which I think is really, really nice. I did forget that there is a Monkie Kid staff in here for an accessory, which is great. And the reason I forgot about it, and if you've seen my other videos, I love when they include places to store these in the set. So they have their gold kind of double-sided staff here, uses the extra long like symmetrical double-sided hilt in the drum lacquered gold, and then has the red bar piece in between there. So that is really cool, and that can be stored on the airship on one of these clips down here. So there's one on either side, there's one over here as well, so we can store that in there, which is very cool. And then you know, the core of this has more Technic bricks. We can see some exposed pins and exposed Technic pin holes, especially on this side, but that's not a huge issue to me. I will say that besides like just, okay, the cockpit and there is some other little features here. This one's getting in the way right now. So there is this bucket or basket, which kind of reminds me of I guess they're called gondolas of like a hot air balloon or something. That's on a chain piece in there, and so that can be coiled up. We have this arm over here, so we can coil that up, and maybe that's for raising and lowering people to get into the airship, get off of the airship. This arm can also swivel back and forth here, so if you have room for it there, that's okay. And then I had both characters, Sandy and Monkie Kid, in this when I started the video for the review, and that is because we have this, which is a detachable flyer that is kind of works as a second seat as well as its own individual vehicle. So this attaches at the back here, where we kind of have the flatbed looking piece. We have all the brackets, studs on the side, and then these tiles, and there's just a couple studs right here that this would attach to. So if I get that in there, we could have a character sitting in there and a character sitting up at the front, but then this is really easy to pop off and kind of be a flyer in its own way. So these can be angled. We got the little propellers there, which is great. We have a spot for them to sit. We have the printed console piece here for controls. This is a sticker here, and then we have these stud shooters there as well. Those can kind of be angled out to be, repositioned. So those could either be like someone could be piloting that from the back. Maybe Sandy is piloting it when it's like back here, and those can shoot sort of behind the airship if they're being chased. And then there's other stuff that could maybe be before, but then this could also take off on its own and maybe run kind of as protection out front or do different stuff. So it's a nice little contraption that works as a second seat, but also its own kind of side build type thing there. And then, we can make these flare out to aim them a little bit differently. This is super swooshable, pretty basic build, not too much going on there. And it does make the kind of bottom area of the airship look a little more filled out, because we have like the front cab, and the reason I say it looks like a flatbed truck kind of is because of this area back here. So this really like fills in a lot of that negative space, and it's actually possible to have Sandy in here with their hair on and be studded down and secure, and we can definitely fit Monkey Kid up in the front. I'll kind of show what it looks like with them up there. In terms of like building techniques for this part, I liked the boomerang usage a lot, and then there was just some interesting stuff because as you can see, it's almost like it's hollow throughout here, and just lots of bracket usage and studs on the side to get like a lot more texture, a lot more depth and width in this kind of cockpit area than maybe I anticipated, because ultimately for the most of it, it's 4 studs wide, and it's just built on that core of those like 1x10 Technic bricks or whatever, or 1x12 or whatever they are. But I think it looks really nice. You can see we have the character in here kind of driving forward. We can see them through the windscreen there, windshield there, and we have Sandy at the back kind of looking out that way, which is really nice. We could have the bucket right now. It's just kind of going all over the place because of the way I'm handling this, but that is okay. And then we have the post kind of, which holds the airship up in the Lego form, but it's kind of this mechanical thing, so I don't mind the technicals that are visible there. On this side, they get covered up a little bit more because we have the sort of boom arm with the basket, but on the other side, maybe we see more of that, but it's supposed to look mechanical and such, so that's okay. And then we build the actual balloon blimp kind of part there, and that's what I was most excited for. I ended up really liking kind of the little flyer off the back and what the sort of cockpit area looks now at this stage. We get a little like exhaust back here, and the landing gear is nice. I like the kind of how it leans forward. It is pretty swooshable. It's got some good weight to it, but you could hold it from the balloon here, or you could hold it, from somewhere down at the bottom, and it's all really sturdy in here because of that core of Technic bricks. And building this up here was really interesting to me. So just from the outside, while we're thinking about it, we can see more stickers here. So this is a sticker on this big slope piece there. Here is a sticker of like the Monkey Kid emblem. And then this emblem here is the one that's on the Ink Demons and the gold-winged eagle character, so that's their logo, but this one's kind of crossed out there. We have a hero graffiti, a MK initials there, maybe some patchwork. On the other side, we have like the Monkey Kid logo without the kind of demons emblem, a little sticker here, a kind of cloud emblem. I think Monkey Kid has used this as an like their own kind of emblem before as well, and same with this sort of symbol there. These is a really nice sticker. These are pretty much the same, but there's like different wear and tear on the stickers that's intentional, and those don't maybe go in the same place either side. And then these as well, they have kind of these rivets and panels on those stickers there so we can see those. I think the color match is okay, and these stickers were easy enough to put on. These are, you know, relatively big on kind of these half circle like ish pieces there, but that's really interesting. And this was a super interesting build for this because we have these kind of big kind of corner round pieces that come off of here to really get that blimp look. So it's kind of an oblong kind of yeah, I don't know, it tapers down to this way, it tapers kind of this way, and it has that sort of blimp shape to it. And the build was really interesting because you build these like hemispheres, or these two sides, as their own sub-assembly there. We do end up adding some details, so we like do the build for all of the middle of this, which is cool. We have kind of maybe some little exhaust over here that you can position a little bit, and there's I liked like how these little like areas in there, like air intakes, so to speak, which is kind of where these pieces figure in, which I think is really nice. We do add some extra wings there using the Monkey Kid cloud pieces and some propellers on the side. These can be angled really easy, not a big deal. We also have at the tail a considerable kind of wing there, again exhaust or propulsion with the Monkey Kid cloud piece. These really big kind of tail wing pieces used in a nice formation, kind of that triangle there. Have a cool little lantern hanging down here using like a red pumpkin piece, as well as the gold kind of tassel there. So this all works really well for me at the back. On the top, you can see we have another kind of turret here with the stud shooter or tile shooter. It's the same one over here. I should have mentioned that the one on the little flyer has red translucent in it, so that's a little bit different than the Ink Demons one, which just has black. So you do get a couple different colors, the red translucent and the black ones, and you get some extras for the projectiles for different stuff. So these ones use the red. The one up here uses the red too. I like that we used a bucket handle here for sort of some controls, like a joystick there. This can be leaned forward and back. It could be turned around. And then we have like some seats for something to sit, and that is so Kitten Mo can operate this sort of turret on the roof and maybe have some cover fire and different stuff up there. And that could be, we could have it leaned up pretty far, and it looks really, really cute with them piloting it there, sitting up on the top. And we could also have that going the other way, and there's still a jumper over there to have it kind of facing the back. And again, yeah, this can be, spun around a little bit and angled a little bit to kind of launch that off. So I think that's really, really cute up top. And then, yeah, building these sub-assemblies and interesting, and then when you attach them, it's really interesting too, because there's like Technic that goes kind of all the way between these. So we don't get a ton of studs on the side here. They're pretty smooth. We use some relatively big pieces for these things, and I want to say, let me see if I can grab the instructions for this to show what those pieces look like. They come in their own bag kind of thing there, and let me see if I can show them. So yeah, there's some hidden details up there. So these pieces are kind of both sides. There's 4 of these big kind of hull-like pieces. We attach them with Technic pins, and then we build up a bunch of the stuff that's kind of cut out in the center to kind of make the different hemispheres there. So really big pieces that are used, which is nice, but then they are essentially attached. There's some Technic pin holes throughout them, and we use some bricks with the axle holes in them to get some more friction and more stability. So I actually had some trouble kind of like lining them up and getting them on there, but at least at this point it feels pretty good. And then you may have seen there are some internal details here, because the panels that are on the like top and bottom are clipped in. This one, you don't have a ton of room. You can't really open that up because of this inverted slope piece right here. And that's same for up front. You can't really open that up because of this slope brick right here, which gets added on. But the ones at the top, we can open up. So we can pop this open, something like that. Because the turret's in the middle, you can't get them all the way open. And there's some kind of little internal details in there as well. So you can see the technique that goes between these, as well as how we did the nose there, which is really nice. And there's, yeah, just a bunch of technique to kind of get these halves together. I did have to play a little bit with like how tight I wanted them to be, just because this is actually a really tight fit, such that if I had these in all the way, this might be like, it might be a little bit tough to go down, just because it might hit any of these little areas there. But you can play with that to kind of get them in there. But inside we get a little bit of detail. There's kind of a potted plant there, and then we have stickers on the side walls for on those inverted tiles with different pictures of Monkey Kid and different diagrams and stuff like that. On the back side we have more kind of diagrams and different things, different images, kind of a I think this one has like the demon logo crossed out on it a bit. And then we have this in the center, which is a box piece. I can pop that off, and it has a printed tile here, which I have not seen before. It's kind of got like a wood grain looking thing, and then kind of an emblem and some writing on it. It almost looks like a pig with like a cloud, and maybe there's like some chopsticks and some food or something like that. So that's a really cool printed tile. And then inside here we have this sort of ice cream piece. Now this was interesting because I had a heck of a time getting that at an angle that would like close here, because when I first was doing it, I had the ice cream piece kind of like standing up on as if it were studded down, and it's going to be really difficult for me to get it in there now like that. So let me see here. Wow, I had it like with the swirl up top, and for whatever reason I can't drop it in there like that now. It's making it, it's being very difficult. There's something like this, and I could not get it to go on. Now it apparently goes on very easily, but when I was building it I did have some difficulty there, so I had to kind of play with how I wanted that turned around. And maybe now you can kind of see that it's being a little bit weird, and I was able to get it down there, but I just played around with this a little bit, and there's many different orientations. If it's upside down more, maybe it works a little bit better, but we can close that up. So I don't know what that's supposed to represent, some sort of food, different thing there. And we can pop that back in. It's not super easy to access the inside of these things, and there's also not a ton of room in there, so you could probably theoretically put characters in there, but they don't really have places to sit, even though there is some internal details. This one has a diagram of kind of the sword piece, accessory piece that's over here, so you can kind of see that represented over there looking at that, and that's all well and good, but not a ton going on in there. So if it's wasted space, I don't really know. I mean, at least they did put some effort into getting some of it in there, which I think is nice. I kind of want to take one of these sub-assemblies off just to see how this works. So here we can see what the half looks like. This will actually give us a better image of the sides here. So we're using Technic axles and like Technic bricks all throughout there, and we have to line those up. There's actually like 3 axles that goes up here. So normally what essentially this is like is this is in the middle here, and then this axle piece is here. And then this is kind of built the same front and left, so we can see where we clip on the bottoms, clip on the tops there. And the other side is very much the same. And then we have to line up kind of these three with these round bricks with the axle hole in them, but also line up these to these kind of Technic pieces in there. It's actually not too bad, but once you get a certain way, you're not going to be able to see anymore, and you just kind of have to get them lined up, and they go together. It's really satisfying, not a big deal, but like I said, I did have to play with these. Sometimes like you might, or I might have to play with how tight a certain Technic piece is, or how tight pieces are around like axles for spinning wheels, just so you get a little less friction and it's a little easier to open and close these. I think it's better to kind of not have them pushed in totally all the way. It can still functionally look like they are, but just playing with a little bit of the room we have there helps a lot in opening and closing those without any difficulty. So that is everything for this Monkie Kid Cloud airship. In terms of like functionality and stuff like that, yeah, you got a lot of little moving parts. You do have the detachable thing with the projectile launchers. There's the hidden stuff up here. We can move all these different things. We can raise and lower the bucket or the basket, and that's all well and good, but that's about it. There's not like a ton of extra play features in here, but I think there's enough. I think my favorite thing about this is just that it's an interesting kind of vehicle, and like Monkie Kid is pretty good about this. They do lots of different kinds of vehicles. You know, with Ninjago, we get a lot of these similar stuff. There's a car or a motorcycle or a mech. We've had boats and submarines and different things like that in Ninjago, but I don't know if we really ever get like stuff like this, like a blimp or an airship of some kind. And I think that's really, it's cool that Monkie Kid's done that. It seems like they've done lots of different vehicles for Monkie Kid, which I like. Of course, they stay consistent with the color theme, which is nice if there's colors in here that maybe are not in these pieces a lot, but I think that's really good. I do love that they have storage for this there. I always like when they have little side builds that can be kind of part of the main build to add a little bit of more complexity to it, maybe a little more balance to it and everything there. I thought the build for this was really fun, and this is a sizable thing. You know, this has got some good weight to it. A lot of stuff. We get the little side builds over here, 4 characters, so you get Sandy power up form, you get Monkie Kid, and then you get the 2 kind of demon characters there, as well as Kitten Mo here, which is very cool. And this is a good amount of stuff for a set like this. I'll show the extra pieces. I've already kind of shown these special gold, pearl gold type pieces that you get in a prepackaged thing, but there's actually a good amount of other pieces we get here. So the printed kind of dial piece there, extra of the orange kind of facial hair, the Ink Demon blade thing, hilt, the floral piece here, your 1x1s, your studs, your tiles, bucket handle in there, some Technic pins, bushings, different things like that, bar element in there, all of that good stuff, your 1x1s, your tiny pieces that you would anticipate getting as extras. And this set is, let me see here, 540 pieces, is that right? Yes, 540 pieces, 4 minifigs plus Kitten Mo, and it retailed for $50 in the US, but I got this for $32 or 35. Let me see here, $35. So that's 30% off, you know, and to make it $15 off, which is a pretty steep discount. 30% off is pretty good. As of right now, as of the time of recording this, this is sold out. I bought this around Black Friday last year. It's just taken me a while to get to it. And you know, for actually $50 for 540 pieces, with the amount of minifigures here, the amount of stuff, you know, the minifigures are really detailed. And then we also get some like big pieces in here, some unique stuff. And this is like hefty Lego. There's a lot of Lego here, actually. The build took longer than I would have anticipated. And for, 540 pieces, this actually seems like quite a lot. Not a ton of pieces in here, not a ton of pieces in here, not a ton of pieces in here, but a lot of it's built in here, and then we get all these little side elements that make sense. These pieces that are used for the sides of the blimp area are very big, and you get 4 of those, so that is really nice. So I actually think the $50 price point for this probably feels good in terms of volume and weight, how long it took to build, and what I have in front of me here. Getting this for $35 I think is great. $35 for 540 pieces, 4 minifigures, a little kitten here with the special color with the special printing on it is just a really, really good deal. And we don't, that 30% off is getting to the point of like any Lego theme when it's that steeply discounted is a pretty good deal. This is one of those nice mid-range sets where it's not like crazy expensive out of the gate, and then the discount makes it even more reasonable. For $35, I think this is great. I mean, these little things, this and the minifigure is maybe a poly bag worth of stuff, or $5 to $10 each, or total for that. And this little thing could be as well. This could be, I don't know how to put value on that or put value on these figures, but this is like a really substantial build here with a good amount of stuff. It's heavy, it's got real weight to it, it's got real visual weight to it as well. There's play features here, and I also think it looks pretty cool and looks pretty unique. So I'm just happy to see more kind of airship blimp type things represented here. And it's another good kind of look at some of the Monkie Kid stuff, because that's something that I'm so unfamiliar with, because it's just not super common. I don't see it a ton in the US. I think it's not really on the shelves at big box retailers or like major retailers, so I think it's mostly just directly from Lego or at Lego stores themselves. I think this theme is bigger in other markets that maybe aren't the US and Europe, and for that reason I think there's like deceptively good sets in here for good value that just maybe because people aren't like super interested in it, they've already invested in maybe Ninjago or other stuff, which this has some similarities to, that maybe they don't want to branch out to this. But I think there's actually some, like the creative vehicles set I thought was phenomenal, and I think there's a lot of Monkie Kids sets that are sort of slept on, and that's in terms of value and just building techniques and part usages and lots of stuff. So it's kind of a lesser known theme, but I'm happy to have been able to purchase these. I think this one, getting it for 30% off, and the creative vehicles I got for 30% off, these were really great buys in my opinion. I actually don't know if $50 is that bad for this, all things considered. Maybe I would think that's a little bit, it's close. It's right on the border just because of like the big pieces and the number of minifigures and stuff here. But I think this is very fun. I'm super grateful I was able to look at this. I'm glad I was able to get it on a discount. And yeah, Monkie Kid, like I say, it's a theme that I sleep on, I think, and I'm not like well versed in. I'm not very experienced in, but when I do look at them, I'm usually impressed, and I just commend them for like trying different stuff, and instead of sticking to the same formula maybe and doing stuff like an airship here. So I really appreciate that, and I liked this set. I liked building it, I liked talking about it, and that is that. So great. That's it. If you like this video, please click the thumbs up and give it a like. If you like my other videos, click the subscribe button down below so you can stay up to date on all the Lego videos I'll be doing here in the future, including maybe more Lego Monkie Kid, especially if I can get it on sale or deals. There's some older Monkie Kid sets that look really, really cool to me. I think there was a Monkie Kid Spider Queen set that somebody mentioned in the Spinland's Cavern thing. I want to say that was Monkie Kid, but I don't know. There's lots of Monkey Kids sets that are really, really cool. I know a store local to me has a bunch of them used that don't sell well, so I might be able to get some deals on some. There are some really, really cool ones, and seem like they have some good value there. Nice quality minifigures here. I think this Sandy figure is really, really great. So I'll probably look at more of this, but then tons of other themes, all different shapes, size, price point, piece count, old sets, new sets, retired sets, used sets, lots of different stuff. So subscribe so you don't miss any of my upcoming LEGO videos. We are on the road to 2,000 subscribers. We're getting close, and it'd be amazing if we got there. So thank you for all the help. If you're not subscribed, maybe consider doing so. It means a lot to me, so thank you very much. And then if you wanted to support this channel and support my videos here, you can give money to the channel. I pay for everything with my own money. I'm not in the LEGO Ambassador Network. I'm not affiliated with any company. So if you wanted to give back because you like my videos or whatever other reason you might have, if you want, there are ways to do that. There's membership supers and thanks on YouTube. There's a Patreon. It's linked in the video description. There's some affiliate links in the video description, as well as a buy me a coffee link. All that stuff helps financially support the channel if you would like, but nobody needs to do that. It's just there's options for people that might consider that. So thank you very much. Every little bit helps, and I appreciate it. And with all that said, until next time, thanks. Bye.